Hello everybody, I am back. So, hi everybody, we're going to continue cooking, baking, we're going to continue baking, leaving off from where as you can see I put some, so this is half a cup of flour and half a cup of unflavored protein powder. So now we are going to continue making blondies. So next up we add baking soda. Okay. Baking soda. I have baking soda here. So baking soda. It asks for baking soda instead of baking powder. Here we go. This one is a half teaspoon. So I'm getting it. It says 1 teaspoon of baking soda, which is 2 half teaspoons. Instead of a third cup, I'm going to use a quarter cup. Because that's easier to measure. So another thing that I asked for, so these are bulletproof blondies. I asked for milk chocolate, but I don't have milk chocolate. These are bulletproof blondies. So what I'm going to use is bulletproof dark chocolate. It asks for milk chocolate, but I don't have milk chocolate, so I'm going to use dark chocolate. So what I'm going to do again, bulletproof. You guys can see this bulletproof. So I'm going to take a bowl here. Take a bigger bowl, just so that I have enough, a big enough bowl. Take 1 bar of chocolate here. What are you doing, Dad? As you can see, I'm breaking up the chocolate bar. what you do is you melt it in the microwave. Remember, these are bulletproof. Bulletproof. What are you doing, Dad?
I'm not eating right mean. Missile,
Excuse me.
what are you doing?
I'm filming a cooking show. I don't know what you're doing, but I'm filming a cooking show. Anyway, so what you do is you melt this in the microwave. I'm gonna do it in 30-second spurts until it's melted fully. Yeah, until it's melted fully. You take a spoon and you melt it. Take a spoon and you mix it around. You want it melted fully as possible. I mean, I don't think 30 seconds is enough. Yeah, 30 seconds isn't enough. I gotta melt it for more than 30 seconds. Can I do it for a minute? I'll do it for 2 minutes. And then some butter. And then we get some butter. So you do a 1/3 cup of grass-fed. I use Kerrygold grass-fed butter. Kerrygold grass-fed Irish butter. That's what I use. So a 1/3 cup. So a 1/3 cup. So 1 cup is 8 ounces. So a 1/3 would be. So a 1/4 cup is 2 ounces. So a 1/3 would be 2.5 ounces. So I'm gonna cut 2.5 ounces. Let's stop this. Stop it. See how this turns out. You don't want it to burn. So this is melted. So this is the melted chocolate. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's the melted chocolate. Just Mix it. Mix this in there. Again, I'm making bulletproof chocolate blondies. Okay. Got a wooden spoon, we can mix this up. I don't know if the chocolate's melted enough, but I'll be adding stuff to this anyway, so. We'll see how it turns out. I gotta add some butter to this. The butter will make it smoother, hopefully. Bulletproof chocolate blondie. So now what you do is you add a third cup of grass-fed butter, which is 2.5 ounces. Which is 5 tablespoons. These are the nice one. So 5 tablespoons, measure this out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are you doing?
Waiting for you to move your phone out of the way so that when I microwave this, it won't splash all over.
Like I said, I'm doing a cooking show right now.
You're doing a cooking show?
And you're in the way of the camera. Okay?
Yeah.
So,
You want to move your phone out of the way so I can put hot water?
Superboy, get out. Anyway, sorry about that. My dad's kind of in the way right now, but that's okay. Oh! Superboy! Fido! Fido! Get out! Sorry about that. Melted butter. Dad!
Yeah.
What are you doing with that?
I'm
Excuse me.
soaking,
Excuse me.
I'm soaking,
You can move this over there. Besides, don't use the butt of a knife.
I just want to get the,
Sorry about that. I live in a household with multiple people, but that's okay. Melt the butter. That's melt some butter. And then it also asks for almond butter. I use, instead of almond butter, I use peanut butter, which is perfectly fine. So let's so it says almond butter. I use peanut butter, and then let's get 2 eggs. Make sure I oops. Let's get 2 eggs. Crack 2 eggs. One. Two. Hey, wait. In case you guys are wondering what I'm making bulletproof peanut butter and chocolate blondies. So I just put the 2 eggs in here so you can see it. Mix this. And I'm melting some butter in the microwave right now. And then a 1/3 cup of peanut butter. That's the last thing that you add in here besides sugar. It asks for sugar, but I'm not gonna use sugar. I use the Kanto. As you can see, I'm mixing this together. I'm not going to make it into squares like blondies are normally made in. I'm going to mix it in. Instead of using squares, I'm going to... Oh, not enough. I've got to melt it some more. But instead of using squares, I'm gonna use like muffin tins. 1/3 cup almond butter. I think I got everything, yeah. So I'm gonna use muffin tins. Because normally you would do this in like a square pan, but I don't have a square pan, so. Let's see, the butter's melted. The butter should be melted by now. As you can see, is melted butter. Remember, when you're using butter, try to get grass-fed butter. Or grass-finished butter, rather. So, we're pouring the butter in. Pouring the butter in. Remember, the last thing we add is the peanut butter. The original recipe asked for almond butter, but you don't have to use almond butter. Any kind of nut butter is good. I prefer peanut butter. You can also use like a mixed nut butter, which is also very good too. Mixing this together. If you guys have any questions on what I'm making, feel free to ask. I'm making blondie chocolate, bulletproof chocolate blondie. So now that we bought this mixed up, you guys can see that mixed up, we can add either peanut butter or any kind of mixed nut butter. Either way is fine. I will use the mixed nut butter since we have mixed nut butter. We have mixed nut butter from a company called Nutzo. So, we got mixed nut butter from Nutzo. They sell this at Costco. So this is what I'm going to use. So we mixed in a third cup. Where's the third cup? There's a third cup of everything pretty much. Let's see what a third is. Quarter. A third is basically a quarter and an eighth. If you don't have a third. I don't have to use a full third cup. It asked for a third cup. But I'm not seeing the third. I have the 2/3 cup. I guess I could get the 2/3 cup and just measure like half of it. Half of 2/3 is 1/3, right? So this is what it looks like. Half of 2/3 is 1/3, so I'll just be mixing half of this. I think that's good enough. Perfect. So a third cup of any nut butter that you like. I'm using a mixed nut butter called Nutzo from Costco. And Costco is company that is, Costco is a store that we buy a lot of stuff from. So, mix this together. And then the last thing you add is like a sugar substitute if you have a sugar substitute. You don't want to add regular sugar in this because remember, these are keto blondies. So they're not regular blondies. So you want to use something that's more keto friendly. Okay, now you want to use something that's keto friendly versus something that has a bunch of carbs and stuff in it. Before I add the sugar to it, or sugar substitute rather, you can look at the consistency of this. Look at that. So after this is so good. If you never had it before, you don't know what you are missing. It's so good. So the last thing you add is sweetener. Not stevia, sweetener. We have a contour in here somewhere. I know we have it somewhere. Oh, did my mom run out? You can also use stevia. Let's see if my mom has it somewhere. Or if you don't want to sweeten at all, you could leave out the sugar. I guess we'll do it without the sugar. We don't need it, because the chocolate is dark chocolate. We don't need the sugar, but yeah, we'll do it without the sugar, which is fine. So this is what it looks like, everybody. And then now we're gonna scoop it into muffin things and make chocolate keto bar. Bulletproof bombs. You don't have to have it sweet or you don't. I'm gonna do it non-sweet. I don't know where the contour is. I'm gonna make it non-sweet, but that's okay. You don't have to add a sweetener. So, I'm done with this side. Oop. Put this in here. So what I'm gonna do now is first thing you gotta do is preheat your oven. Preheat your oven to 350. I'm gonna do convection bake at 325. Start. Convection bake is always 25 degrees less than the regular bake. Take the pan out because you don't want to bake the pan. So, what I'm doing now is I'm going to get some muffin tins. And go find the muffin tins up there. What are you doing, Dad?
Putting my can of coffee away.
Anyway, so I got a muffin tin here. Got a muffin tin, you guys. So what I'm going to do is let me get some muffin things. I don't know where they are. So, let's see if I have some up there. Oh, here they are. I haven't seen them, they're right here. So,
I'm doing that for 2 minutes.
okay,
Okay?
go ahead.
Just leave it in there when it's finished.
Anyway, so I'm doing muffin tins. So you make, I'm making like nut butter bombs. I could add more fat to this if I want to, by adding like coconut oil or MCT oil to it. Or just butter and nut butter. It's up to you. Whether you want to or not. But I'm not going to. Keep in mind, these are unsweetened. I didn't add any sugar substitute to it. These are unsweetened. but you could make them sweetened by adding a sugar substitute to it. But that's totally up to you. Anyways, yeah, that's totally up to you on how you want to do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a ladle. I got a ladle. I'm gonna take a ladle and I'm gonna pour the batter. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna take a ladle. I'm gonna pour the batter into each one of these pans. One scoop. Into each. Which is really good. I like this. It is a thicker batter.
No. Out.
It is a thicker batter, you guys. So just be aware of that when you work with it. I might not put too many tins down in here, but it's okay. They might not all be the same size, but that's perfectly fine. Again, it is a thicker batter. And it's not sweetened with sugar. I usually don't put the half cup of sugar in here anyway. Because I asked for a half cup of sweetener, but half cup is way too sweet. I usually put like a quarter cup. But anyways, we're trying to... Looks like we have enough to make maybe one more. This is good for about 8 of them. Yeah, this is good for about 8 blondie muffins. Muffins slash fat bombs. Oh, like I said, you could add more fat to this, so you want to make it like a full fat bomb. Like I would add something like more coconut oil or some MCT oil or something like that to it. But that's totally up to you. I did not do that with this one. But keep in mind, you add like more fat to it, it would be more runny instead of a thick batter like this. But I'm sure it will still taste good. remember, you guys want the recipe for this, you guys can ask me and I will give you the recipe that I use. Or you can just look up blondie. Bulletproof blondie. And you will find this recipe. It's not a I didn't do the recipe like word for word, but this recipe is, I love it the way it is. Anyway, so I made 8 small tins like that. Of course you can add nuts to it if you want to. I didn't add any nuts to this one, but you can. I'm going to put it in the oven. And then you bake it for a good 20 minutes. Let's see, cook time. You bake it for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So those are blondie muffins. Bulletproof blondie muffins. Hey there. Yeah, you can get the recipe. Just DM me or something. And I will definitely give you the recipe for it. It's very simple to make. Anyway, so how are you, Ammo Blast? They're keto blondie muffins. Now I got to wash dishes. The keto blondie muffins. They're really good. I like it. I actually got it off the Bulletproof website itself, but you can just look up recipes from bulletproof.com and look up blondies. Remember, I use Bulletproof dark chocolate, which they are currently sold out of right now. But when they're back on sale, you can get 15% off by using the promo code PawsPanda. So that's a plug for me. Yeah, again, if you guys want to know the recipe for that, just go to bulletproof.com and look up blondies. Or search Bulletproof blondies on Google. And that's where I got the recipe from. I kind of changed it a bit myself. I didn't use I changed it a little bit myself, but it's all good. It still tastes good, though. And remember to preheat your oven, which I didn't do. Right. You bake it at 350 for 20 minutes. And it should turn out pretty good. I was going to make some cloud bread, but it turns out that I don't have any cream cheese. But I will make that for you next time. Like the stuff that I can't really bake that much stuff because I'm also out of almond flour. But either way, I can definitely do more cooking streams if you want me to. Alright, so how you guys doing? You guys have a good Thursday? I hope your Thursday was very eventful. My Thursday was good. Did some shopping and whatnot. Went to the mall, did some shopping, so that's always good. Anyways, I'm washing dishes right now. Because you always have to wash dishes after you cook. So you bake them for 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, depending on whether they're done or not. And then you're good to go. So how you guys doing? Keto baking. Yeah, I love keto baking. I'm not really on keto, but I love keto baking mainly because I love keto baking. Not because I'm on keto, but because I try to be as low carb as possible. Because my family has a history of diabetes. And I don't want to be diabetic, you know what I'm saying? Like, what else did I make today? Do you guys like takoyaki? Have you guys had takoyaki? I have a takoyaki maker. But I don't have, I have taco, in case you didn't know, taco is octopus in Japanese. I'll be right back. Superboy. Anyways, yeah, I'm back, you guys. So, taco means octopus in Japanese. Taco means octopus in Japanese, in case you guys didn't know. Have you guys had takoyaki before? Like I said, I never had authentic takoyaki. I can make like a keto takoyaki, but like I said, I'm out of almond flour. But I guess I could try to make it with something like a flourless takoyaki. I don't know how to make the takoyaki sauce per se, but I can make like a flourless takoyaki. Because I do have a takoyaki maker. We're baking keto, you guys. Baking keto today. I haven't done a baking dough in a while. We're baking keto. Watch out for the knife. Watch out for the knife. Picture the knife. You always want to watch out for knives. So, do you guys want me to make you some takoyaki? I can also make you know what else is good? Like Korean egg bread. I have not tried to make like a flourless Korean egg bread, but I'm guessing I could try it per se. I don't know how it would turn out because I've never done it before. I guess there's always a first time for everything, right? As they say. Flourless bread. A flourless Korean egg bread. Again, I have never done it before, but I could try it. But I would make it like different, right? I would make it different than like the traditional recipe. Do you guys like soufflés? Like a lot of Japanese stuff is soufflé, right? I guess I can rinse this out. Do you like Korean egg bread? Gurang pang? Gurang bang? Or however they pronounce it. Korean egg bread. I guess I could make some Korean egg bread. Put some of this stuff away. Put it away. Oh. Let's see if this turned out. Let's see how it is. Ooh, feels good. Let's see. Cook time. Let's do it for five more minutes and then stop. I forgot to push start. I'll do 5 more minutes. That's only about 20 minutes, right? Do you guys want to see me try to make flourless Korean egg bread? Just to see how it will turn out. I looked up recipes for Korean egg bread before, but I never made a flourless Korean egg bread. Called gurang-bang. It might actually be pretty good. But you don't know how it's gonna be until you actually had it. That's the thing. And you don't know how anything's gonna turn out until you actually had it. You can make it with you can make it with different stuff. You can add like different fillings and stuff to it. That's the thing with Korean egg bread. Same thing with takoyaki. Like, most of this stuff is made with rice flour and stuff, right? But a flourless is normally made with like oat flour, but I don't have oat flour. I can try to make it with different things. Like different. The reason why they use oat flour because it's loaded with fiber, right? But for fiber, I have I'll just leave this in. For fiber, what do I use for fiber? Oh. For fiber, I use psyllium husk. I don't know if you guys have heard of psyllium husk, but it's a very good source of fiber. This fiber that you want, this has both soluble and insoluble, but mostly soluble fiber. So it's 3.5 grams of soluble fiber and 1 gram of insoluble. Soluble fiber is good for you. So it's insoluble fiber. But you want... I like psyllium husk because it also adds like a little... The thing about psyllium husk is that when you mix it with water, it becomes very glutinous. So that means it's done. It becomes very glutinous. I'll put this here. And so it turns off. That's the good thing about it. It turns off. By the way, this is a new stove that we have. It turns off by itself when after you set the timer. So I'll show you what it turned out to look like. So these are chocolate blondies. If you guys want to look at it, I'll show you. Oops. These are what chocolate blondie muffins look like. Good stuff. Chocolate blondie muffins. Of course, you wait till it cools off first before you take it out. But don't they look good? Let me plug this baby in. Let me plug this baby in. Oh. Because it is running out of batteries. Let me plug this baby in. Okay. There we go. Trying to put this away. Should I make some flourless garang pang? Yeah, should I make some flourless garang pang? Do you guys know what garang pang is? Garang bang? Garang pang? I don't know if you guys are familiar with what that is. Let's see if the still on. Let's just be still on, yeah. Let me see if this is still on. Yeah, it's still on. Let me Do you guys know what Gerlong Pong is or Gerlong Bong is? I don't know if you guys know what that is. Gerlong Pong, Gerlong Bong is Korean egg bread. So I am done with the muffins. Now I'm gonna make some Korean egg bread. I'll be right back, you guys. Let me get my charger. So again, plug my stuff in. Try to make like a Korean egg bread that's different. It's made with a different flour than I normally make it. Let me plug this in so I can look up a recipe and whatnot. Some of this stuff I don't have recipes for, so I gotta look it up myself. Let's see. Gelong bong. I don't know if you guys have heard of gelong bong, gerang pong, gerang bong. Yeah, it's a Korean egg bread, as I said before. It's really good. I mean, I like it. I like it. So, I'm going to use the bigger bowl again. Get this out of the way. It's only 6:19, so I still have time before dinner's ready. Let's make some gelong bong. Yeah, let's make some gelong bong. Look up a recipe for one. I'm gonna make an attempt to do it without flour. Again, you could make them in like the little muffin things over there, which people have done. Eight, 9.8. Okay, 10 ounces of flour to use sugar. Looking up a recipe. I'm gonna attempt to do it without flour. One cup of flour. So I'm gonna attempt to do it without flour. I will see how it turns out because number one, I don't have enough flour. Number two, I I want to do it. I want to try to make it without flour so I could make a healthier version of it. I don't really need like this big one. I don't need this big bowl. Put this away. See if I can make like a healthier version of it. I use a smaller bowl. So 1 cup. I guess technically you could use anything. I don't know if have you guys heard of hemp hearts? I don't know, you could like grind some hemp hearts into flour. I've never tried that, but I don't know if this is necessarily the recipe to do it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is 1 cup of so I'm making Korean egg bread. Or I'm going to attempt to anyway. If it doesn't turn out, it doesn't turn out. But we'll see. 1 egg. And remember with garang bang, you are using a you put eggs on top. Depending on how many you're making. So that's the whole thing about Korean egg bread, right? It has the egg on top. Which is very good. So 1 egg. I'm gonna guess that the consistency will be superbly different than traditional garangbang, but I'm not making traditional garangbang, right? So let me get a fork here to mix it up. Instead of milk, well, I'm gonna use milk, but not regular milk. I'm going to use, this is a 1/3 cup of milk. 1/3 cup of butter. So, that's the thing, right? This is not traditional garangbang. So, I'm going to use macadamia. I'm going to use macadamia. This is macadamia nut milk. Unsweetened. I don't know, you ever heard of the macadamia? So 1/3 cup. I don't necessarily have a 1/3 cup. I guess I could measure out a 1/3 cup. by measuring, getting like a measuring cup that has things in it. Has measurements in it. This is the water thing. So this is like a water pitcher that we have, but I can measure like a third cup with it. Remember, a third cup is 5 tablespoons. But you can see, this is what we use for water, but I'm gonna use it to measure the milk. Third cup. It's a quarter cup. That's about a third cup. I would say that's about a third cup. That's good. Put this in here. Of course, the texture is not, again, the texture is not going to be the same as if I use flour. But I don't have flour right now. So I'm gonna make it without flour. You want this to end to be like a batter at the end. You want it to be as smooth as possible. Actually, you know what I can do? Instead of doing it with a fork, I can use something. I can use like a spatula. I'll use like a spatula to do it. Maybe a spatula might be better than a fork per se. Trying to make it as smooth as possible, remember, guys. I also have this thing that I can use to mix the batter. I'll try it in here. It's like an egg beater thing that I bought. But I'm going to use it to mix batter. Maybe I should have just poured everything in here to begin with. I'm making some girang bang. I'm not Korean, by the way. Nor have I had traditional girang bang. But I'm going to try to make my own version of it. Remember, I also need to melt some butter. So put this on here and then mix it together. Just push it and then mix it together. then third cup of melted butter. Remember, melted butter, third cup is 5 tablespoons. You just mix it together like that. You can also make it fluffy if you want to. Let me turn this off. And then, what happened to the spatula that I had? Oh, the spatula's over here. You scrape down the side. Scrape down the side. You add all your ingredients to this. Of course, it's not going to be thick, but to make it thicker, I'll show you what adding sodium does. Let me get everything here. I'm adding psyllium husk to this. I'll show you what adding psyllium husk to this does to it. It makes it thicker and it gives it a texture. There's a tablespoon per cup of flour. And we mix together. And remember, I'm also adding butter to this. 5 tablespoons of butter. Here's the butter. Let me go get a knife. I have a butter mixture for this. Nice. It's still kind of runny, but it's okay. It will definitely give it a better texture at the end. Okay, so 5 tablespoons of butter. Let me cut this. So 5 tablespoons of butter would be there's like a measurement thing on here. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 tablespoons is about right there. It's different. It's not gonna be thick like regular garang pong, of course not. But I mean, the batter is not gonna be thick. It's gonna be like a runny batter, but hopefully it will rise somewhat. Let me melt the butter. Hopefully it will rise. That's my hope that it will rise. So. And then, cause the psyllium has to give it a glutinous texture. Just for 30 more seconds. We'll see how it turns out now. Oh, you don't want it. Okay. Is it popping? Hopefully it doesn't pop that much. Okay, so that's good enough. Again, I don't know how this is going to turn out because I never made a flourless version. But I'm going to try it out. Flourless version of keto. And then it says to add a little bit of salt to it. Mix it up. Put this thing on here. I'll let you guys know if this turns out any good or not because I've never done it before. The batter is going to be very runny today. Hopefully you can make bread this way, or I'm gonna try to attempt to make bread this way. I've never done it before. But again, this is a makeshift recipe. It should bake up pretty good. Hopefully it's not too bad. It should bake up pretty good. So the only thing I need to add is salt. And the salt that I use is pink salt. It says use a quarter teaspoon, but I'm going to use a half teaspoon. Why? Because it's pink salt, and it's not bad for you. Pink salt is actually good for you. It has a bunch of stuff in it that's really good for you. So this one's doing pink salt. Mix this all in. So with Pong, you can make it by itself, or you can add stuff to it, right? Like, what kind of stuff would you add to it if you were making Pong for yourself? So, bake this at 325, yeah, that's right. So, I got a I gotta put my muffins away because I'm gonna reuse this. Look at that. Look at that. They look good, doesn't it? These are chocolate muffins. Chocolate bulletproof muffins. Anyways, with Gurong Pong, the texture, of course, the texture is gonna be nice. With Gurong Pong, you can add like cheese and stuff to it. If you want to make like a cheese Gurong Pong. Oh, let me move this over. You can make like a cheese Gurong Pong, right? Like a lot of people like breakfast Gurong Pong, which is very good, by the way. If you ever had it before. Or you could make the dessert Gurong Pong. You could add sugar. You can add a sugar substitute to it to make it sweet. Or you can add any kind of sugar substitute. Or maybe even something like cinnamon in here might not be bad either. But it's up to you. So, how you make Gurong Pong? What makes it what it is the cracked egg on top. Maybe I need to use a deeper pan. Let's use a deeper pan here. No, you know what? I'm just gonna use that. Or, you know what? I'm going to use I think that's not deep enough. So what I'm going to use, because it's not deep enough, because you got a cracked egg on top. I'm going to use these. If you're wondering what these are popover tins. Popover tins. Have you guys ever had popovers before? I don't know if you guys have had popovers before. Here's a ladle. But before that, I'm going to spray it with a spray. We should have a spray something. there's a spray in here somewhere. Yeah, there's a spray. So we use canola oil cooking spray, which is very good. Non-stick. I'm gonna spray it. I'm gonna spray it over the sink just so that I don't get any. So you guys, I'm making galang bang. So I don't get any canola oil anywhere. I'm using muffin tins. But these are not muffin tins, these are popover tins because galang bang is traditionally made with an egg on top. And you can top it with different things. I'm just gonna top mine with the I'm gonna top mine with top mine with cheese. Mexican style cheese. You can put like hot dogs and stuff in it. If that suits you. But I'm gonna use Mexican style cheese. So what you do is you take a ladle. In case you guys are wondering what I'm making galang bang. The Korean egg bread. Put 2 ladles in each. At least my own version of it. I'm gonna top it with cheese. A lot of people put like onions and mushroom and stuff like that in it. But I'm making mine with just cheese. This is enough for 6 of them. This is enough batter for six of these. Again, we'll see how it turns out. I never made it like this before. So what you do is you I put this in here, put it up. I think my oven's ready, but what you do you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? So basically what you do is you get on bong, you take some cheese or something, whatever you're filling it with. You put the egg on top last on top. So I have some mixed Mexican cheese in here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to throw some grated cheese on top of here. I'll let you know if this turns out, you guys. I have never done it this way before. Throw some grated cheese on top, depending on how cheesy you want it. And then the last thing you do is you throw you crack a raw egg on top. I'm using Mexican style cheese bread. Some people like to add protein to it, like ham or sausage or something like that. But I'm not doing that with these. I'm just making cheese bread. It's up to you and how you want to make it. But again, I could give you guys like this recipe too if you guys want this recipe. So as you guys can see, I put grated cheese on top. So now it's time to crack the egg. So I made 6 of these. So what you do is you take the egg and then you crack it on top, like so, and you just leave it on top. That's the whole thing about your own pound. You crack the egg, and then it stays on top. I'm making my own version of Korean egg bread. I'm sure you Korean people have had Korean egg bread before. Again, this is not traditional Korean egg bread. This is my own keto version of it. Crack the egg on top. I hope it turns out okay. I never made it this way before, but we'll see how it turns out. It's just cheese. It doesn't have like any kind of meat or anything on top. This is good on bong, you guys. You don't want to crack the yolk, that's the thing. Let me move this over here. The idea is not to crack the yolk. You want it to cook a lot. You don't want it to crack the yolk. You don't want to crack the yolk. And you can see if I can. Some places it's Korean street food. Some places actually do crack the yolk on top, but you can see that the yolk is not cracked. The yolk is sitting on top. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's how it's supposed to be. And then you put this in the oven. The yolk is sitting on top. So you put this in the oven. And then you cook it for, it says cook it for 20 minutes, so I'm going to do it for 20 minutes. Put the egg away. Non-traditional. Hello. Hi, wrong side. How you doing? I'm making some keto stuff. Now it's time to wash the dishes. I just put it in the oven at first. So we gotta wait 20 minutes for it to bake. But now it's time to wash the dishes. So how you doing, wrong side? It's been a while. I've missed you in my army. Like we've lost like a few battles here and there. But hey, it's all good. We'll get them next time, right? Anyways, if you guys are looking for like keto eating, keto baking stuff, not much, yeah. If you guys are looking for keto baking stuff, let me know. I can definitely help you with that. I'm not full-blown keto, because I don't have to be. But I try to be as keto as I can. Because becoming full-blown keto would be, you really have to sacrifice a lot in terms of what you eat. I'm more lower carb than full-blown keto, because I don't consume enough fat to be keto per se. But I am trying to do what I can. Again, some of these recipes that I'm making today are recipes that I'm doing for the first time. So. But the blondie muffins I have actually made before. But the garong pong, the flourless garong pong, I have never made before. So we'll see how it turns out. If it turns out. Because we don't know yet. So I'm technically going to be my own guinea pig for this. I'm cooking for myself. No. Yeah, I help my mom and dad in the house. I live with my parents because usually traditionally in an Asian family, there's one child that stayed behind and helped the parents out in the house. So that person is me. My dad doesn't care about his health. My mom does, but my dad doesn't. So when I do keto cooking, my mom likes it, but like my dad's like totally checked out. So that's how it is with my mom and dad, right? Wait, I forgot to do it again. Let's do the cooking time. 15 minutes. I forgot to set the timer again, that's okay. I set it for another 15 minutes. Hopefully the egg won't be overcooked. We have a newer stove, that's why I don't really know how to use the timer thing, but we'll see how it goes. Anyways, how you doing? How you been? If I burn it, I burn it. If the egg overcooked, the egg overcooked it. Hopefully the egg will not be overcooked. That's good. Yeah, I try to take regular everyday recipes and make it low carb / keto as much as I can. Because a lot of keto recipes, I don't have all the ingredients. So I try to make it as keto or low carb as without actually having to go to the store or using exactly what the recipes ask for. So my keto recipes, a lot of them are makeshift keto recipes versus something that's like totally, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't follow like the keto cookbook or anything like that. But it's all good though. Gotta wipe down the counters and everything. Yeah, as long as it's edible, it's good, right? Of course, you wouldn't eat anything that's not edible. But we'll see if it actually rises into a bread because it's flourless. And flourless means that there's no flour in it. If it doesn't turn out, I'm not going to use this recipe. They're my own recipes. I did it myself. Like normally, flourless recipes ask for something like oat flour, right? But I gotta look up to see if I can make like. So oat flour is basically fiber. Like, you know that oats are made of like a ton of fiber, right? So a lot of stuff is made from oat flour, but I don't have oat flour. No, I didn't inherit the recipes. The recipes, the two recipes that I did today, I looked up the traditional recipes and I made shift them. Like I made my own rendition of them, sort of. Put this away. You know what I mean? I made my own rendition of them. I make shift recipes all the time. Like I take the original recipes and then I do them my own way. Instead of using like pre-made recipes, I guess, so to speak. Because I try to make stuff as keto as possible. Yeah, the first one, you can go back and watch the VOD later. I will also be streaming tonight, like later tonight. So Thursdays, I'm planning to do like a health and fitness thing. So, if you want to stay tuned to watch later on, I'm gonna do a health and fitness thing tonight. If you're up, that is. If you're not up, then you can watch the VOD later. I don't know if you saw my VOD from last night talking about the future of my streams. Like I'm thinking about maybe going into more of a talk show type thing, where I give people positive life advice. That's what I want to do, like positive life advice for people. And I was talking about like how at times I don't feel like, not that I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel like I don't know what the word I'm trying to look for is. Again, it's not that I don't feel appreciated, because I know I am appreciated, but I feel that people don't show their appreciation towards me like they would other people. You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. I was thinking of either doing like either through Discord or Skype or something like that. Where people can send in questions that they want me to answer based on the topic of the day. And every show will be a different topic. I figure I'd do something like that more so than trying to be like a gamer, because I'm not really a hardcore gamer to begin with, so trying to make it on Twitch as a gamer for somebody who isn't a gamer might be tough. But that's just me. So right now, if you can see the timer, it says 6 minutes and change. So we are waiting for 6 minutes. Let me open the oven to see how it turned out. Just to see how it turned out. You don't want it to be overcooked. It looks okay. Hopefully it doesn't turn out overcooked. It looks okay. But the egg yolk is still raw. So I'll show you what I made earlier since you weren't there. Smells good too. I made these chocolate muffins. So I'm using my new streaming phone, by the way. So I traded in my old iPhone 8 for the new streaming phone. These are chocolate muffins that I made. I'll try one. And I'll let you know how it tastes. I'll try one. Here we go. I didn't add any sweetener to this, so we'll see how it turns out. Not bad, actually. Not bad. It's not sweet at all because I didn't add any sweetener to it. It's a little bit bitter because of the chocolate, but other than that, it's good. It's really good. So anyways, yeah. I'm thinking about doing like a talk show type thing. Because I have seen like other streamers do talk shows type things, but their talk shows are more on the quote unquote raunchy side. Like they do it that way on purpose to like get an audience, you know, like they'll ask them like sometimes they'll ask them what some would deem inappropriate questions. Of course, I'm not planning to do anything remotely close to that. But you know, questions like how many people have you slept with? Or does this make you hard? Or stuff like that, you know? Like sexually induced questions or something like that. Not that their show is a sex show, because it isn't. But most of the like super popular quote unquote talk shows on here are more about, they're like dating type shows, right? I'm not, yeah, like they're more dating type shows, so you would get why they would ask those kind of questions, right? But I'm not planning to run like a dating show. I don't want to run a dating show. I want mine to be more of a positive, like people who need help. Like I want to help people who need help or want help. Not necessarily on touchy subjects, but Like, I want my stream to be like a place where people can open up. Where they feel like they can talk about anything without being judged. Like, I'm a big anti-bullying person, so like that's what I want to do outside of street. Let's see how the egg turned out. 30 seconds ago. It's going. It's going. It's going. It smells good. Here we go. I don't know if you can hear that. Smells good. So it's done. It looks good too. Hopefully the egg isn't overcooked, but we'll see. So the good thing about this oven is after when you time it, it automatically turns off after the timer goes off. So that when you time it, it won't automatically turn off. Instead of, you know how sometimes when you time stuff to cook, the timer goes off and you're busy doing something else and you end up burning your food? This one, when the timer goes off, the oven turns off automatically. So you don't burn your food. Let me take this out. I don't know if the egg is overcooked or not, but we'll see. Hopefully it's not overcooked. I guess I could bring the camera over here. Let me unplug from this. Because it should be charged enough for a little bit for now. Let's bring this over here and show you guys what I made. You guys see that? Anyways, so I did get a new camera lens, new super wide camera lens. That is, let it cool down. That is 170 degrees. How does that look? It looks a little bit burnt on top, maybe. A little bit. Does that look good though? Maybe the egg's a little bit burnt on top. Let me see if I can take a knife. See if I can take a knife and cut it out. Maybe it's a little bit burnt on top. I don't know. Does that look good though? It's not super burnt though. Trying it for the first time. Let's see what it turned out to be. If I'm sure it will not have the egg consistency. You can tell that it's still kind of I'll let it cool down. I don't know if it's fully cooked though. No, it's not fully cooked. I think the egg's fully cooked though. But I don't know if the bread part is fully cooked. Maybe I'll put it in for a little bit more. Because if you can look at the knife, it's still kind of... It's not coming out clean, so... Let's make this. Let's 25. The knife isn't coming out clean, so the bread part didn't fully cook. Maybe the egg might be fully cooked, but the bread part isn't. So, and I can't just take the egg part off of it. So, what I'm gonna do is, oh, since the door is open. The good thing about this thing is that it lets you know when the door is open too. I don't know, making it this way is the best way to do it because I don't think it's runny, but doing it for like maybe 5 more minutes or so would not hurt. I don't think it's gonna have a bread-like consistency though, because it's not made with flour. Though I should see if I could make my own flour. Have you heard of ham hearts? My guess is that you could make your own ham heart flour. Hemp flour. Hemp flour. I don't know. I'm gonna wait to see how. As you can see, that it really that. I can just leave it. So I will put it back in the oven. I'll put it back in the oven and bake it for like maybe another 5 minutes or so. Hopefully it will turn out. Cause normally this is made with flour, but since I don't have flour, like a good substitute for flour is like oat flour, which I don't have. I'll try to do it with flour. Cook time. I'll do it for 5 minutes just to see what it will turn out to be. If it doesn't turn out that good, then it doesn't turn out that good. Rice flour is also very good, but rice flour is so high in carbs that it's not good. And I'm trying to make low carb food. Keto low carb. Flourless. So it turns out you cannot use I guess because it has no rising yeah. It has no rising element, I guess you could say that there's always a first time for everything, right? Another thing, yeah. I gotta go to the store and get some more flour, some more almond flour or coconut flour or something like that. It would be a lot better if I had almond flour or coconut flour, but I don't. And if you're going flourless, you can go with like oat flour. I'm baking it for another 5 minutes to see how it turns out. I hope the 5 minutes will work. You can make your own nut flour too, like walnut flour or pecan flour or anything like that. That works too. You can even make peanut flour by you want to grind it into a flour, but you don't want to grind it so much that it turns into butter. Right? Jason, are you done? Yeah, almost. Yeah, so you can make your own nut flours, but it's so much easier just to buy pre-made nut flour. Because you don't want to grind it to the point that it turns into a butter. You want it to stay a flour. But anyways, we will see what the end result of my gudong pong turns out to be. I don't think it's gonna turn out as well as it would if I had used actual flour. I mean, yeah, actual flour, like a keto flour, but we'll try it. We will try it. If it doesn't turn out that well, then oh well. But it's not dead though. It's still edible. Just that it's not really bread. Yeah, it's not dead, but it's also not bread. It still can be eaten. Let it cool off. I'll let it cool off first. And then I'll put it somewhere. But anyways, that's going to be it for me for now. I hope you enjoyed today's cooking show. I will be on later tonight. But until later, bye you guys. Remember to stay strong, stay healthy, stay bulletproof, but most of all, stay positive. Everybody, have a good night. Let's see if my if my friend's on right now. She is on. Okay, so everybody stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'm gonna raid my friend. Everybody, say hello to my friend. I will see you guys later. Bye. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Bye bye. And are we going? I think we are going. Bye bye.